Obooters from all around the world. My name is Aicha. I'm 11 years old and I live in Tunisia. Welcome to our Oboot Zoom session where me and my co-host Kenza, who is 10-year-old and lives in Dubai, will be interviewing our guest changemaker, Sarah Al-Charif. We will ask questions to Sarah about her background, journey, work, skills, and impact. We hope that you will enjoy the session, and now we'll start with our first question to our guest. Hello, Sarah. We are excited to meet you today. To start our interview, can you tell us a little bit about you and what you do for your work?
Sure. Thank you, Aicha, and thank you, Kenza. So indeed, I lead as a Lebanon director, a local or a regional community-led organization that works in the most marginalized communities, and more specifically in an area in North Lebanon. It's called Tripoli, but not Tripoli, Libya. It's Tripoli, Lebanon, and it's been now 10 years since I lead this organization in Lebanon. And what we do is actually we provide the most vulnerable youth that are, unable to pursue their education at universities with a full scholarship, so they can go to universities, get a fully educated until they graduate. But this scholarship is conditional. They have to give back throughout their educational journey or academic journey. They have to give back 4 hours of community service or volunteering hours on a weekly basis to support their local community, which is where we operate, through a bunch or a set of activities and programs and projects that are dedicated to serve the children of the communities, the women of the communities, and also the youth. And also they have to attend and participate effectively in all the trainings that we provide them with in order to prepare them for the job market upon graduation. And also we link them with influencers, with great-minded or leaders from all over the world, as you have been exposed currently through this program, to also make sure that they get a wider network and we can boost their self-confidence and having, to put in practice their communication skills, their presentation skills, their critical thinking. And this is what is really required, so when they graduate, they could easily or easier find job opportunities or even start their own businesses as entrepreneurs. So this is what I do on a professional level. On a personal level, I'm a mother for 3 children. Saeed is the elder son. He's 11 years old. In March 18, he will be 11. My daughter Yasmina, she's 6 years old. And my small child, Omar, he's 3 years old. What else? I'm a social activist. I'm a social entrepreneur. I believe, in the power of people, and I believe I am a change maker, kind of. I'm contributing to make a change in my community and in my country. What else? I'm currently a student. I'm pursuing my MBA as well. I'm about to finish my studies at university, and I'm a wife, I'm a friend, I'm a daughter. So I have many roles that I'm playing.
Good. Hi. Do your kids get included in your work?
Are my kids included in my work?
Or involved in your work?
Straight no. No, they aren't involved in my work, but they definitely know about what I do. And they get a lot of exposure because they always visit the community center in which I operate. They know the team, they know, some of the beneficiaries of the programs, right? And they used to finish their schools and, come spend the 2 hours of the afternoon within the office. So they are kind of exposed, but they aren't engaged in, of course, in running or in being part of any programs. I remember once Saeed took part of a summer camp. Actually, it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It was about programming and coding and so on, and I wanted him to be part of this training, and this is what actually happened.
Thank you.
Welcome.
How did you find this idea?
The idea of engaging my kids at work?
Like Ruwwad, like your work, how do you find the idea?
Okay, I'm actually extremely passionate about what I do, and maybe it's very obvious because it's been 10 years now since I present this organization and the work we do, and I always have the same passion, the same energy, the same vibes, and I can present it maybe 30 times a week, and I'm still motivated to do it. So passion is the key thing in what you do if you want to really master or excel at your work or at anything or in anything. So yeah, I think it's quite a very important and valuable organization that is really creating value and impact on the community level.
I have read that Ruwwad's 3 main programs are child development, youth organizing, and community support. Can you tell me a little bit more about each one?
I love that you've done your research, Kenza. That's great. And of course, so let's start with the youth organizing program. So in the youth organizing program, we target the youth, as mentioned, that are, I would say, 16, 17 plus, that would like to pursue their education at institutes or at universities and unable to do so. We give them the scholarship, okay, at any universities in Lebanon. It's fully covered by Ruwwad. And in return, they have to give back the 4 hours of volunteering per week. They have to attend all the trainings and to participate in Dardashat, which is the cultural debate session that happens every few weeks. So this is the first component, if you want, the youth organizing program. And also we walk them through, once they finish their studies, we link them to some job opportunities. We provide some internships or apprenticeships at some companies. So until they thrive and they excel in the job market. The second program, it's the child development, and the third is the community support. The main question here is, if we have, which is a reality, 100 scholars every year benefiting from a scholarship, then than 100 people times 4 hours of community service per week, it means we do manage 400 hours of volunteering every week. Okay, so where are those community service hours being spent in the community? So they are either spent in the child development program, in which the volunteers, they intervene, they facilitate programs that are dedicated for children in the community that are aged between 6 and 12 years old, throughout school outreach programs within schools, or within our child learning incubator, where we host children at our center. Okay, and those volunteers, they got involved in storytelling, creative arts, creative sciences, sports activities, entrepreneurship, music, theater, art, So they do we build their capacities so they can deliver those activities to the children that are the end beneficiaries. While on the third level, which is the community support program, the volunteers, they act as facilitators to support any project that would economically empower women of the community by creating jobs for those women, preparing them, by providing them with vocational trainings, okay, by acquiring new skills that are very important for them to be able to find a job in the market, and to also, it's preparing them to be employable or to be employed in the market, or if they have the entrepreneurial spirit, okay, and they would like to run their own businesses, then also we provide them with small funds or actually good amounts to support them, and also with the mentorship needed, or in-kind donations needed, so they can run their own businesses. Okay, so this is, if you want, a breakdown of the 3 programs you have mentioned.
Thank you.
Because you pay for other students, how do you make money?
You're a typical daughter of Huda. I like the entrepreneurial mindset. So, how do we make money? Actually, as an organization, usually any organization, any non-for-profit or not-for-profit organization is usually supported by donations. Okay, so by getting donations, the question over here is how do we get our donations? Okay, so our donations are diversified. So the first, if you want, revenue stream, or the first revenue, if you want, is coming from a board of directors that are from the private sector. So we have on board of the we have a board of directors, okay, that are entrepreneurs, okay, or they either put money on a yearly basis to support their community, okay, so they can feel about their communities by contributing back to their communities. They are successful entrepreneurs, wealthy entrepreneurs. Or on board also we have companies that would put their money as part of their CSR, which is the corporate social responsibility. Okay, so in order for the company to feel good about their community, also they give back part of their money to support their communities. So on our board of directors, we have either entrepreneurs or we have companies as a CSR. This is the first revenue stream. The second, okay, it's actually a social enterprise I have established around 7 years ago, which is a community kitchen. That kitchen empowers women from two communities that used to have fights or clashes between them. So in order to fight for peace, we brought them together and we trained them to be able to use their culinary skills by creating or taking part of catering services. And this kitchen has been doing a great job. In 2 years, the capital cost invested, we broke it. I mean, we had the break even. And after 2 years, the kitchen started to generate revenue, okay? And that revenue feeds the scholarship fund program, which is educationally empowering the youth. Okay, that are in return giving back to their local community. So this social enterprise has a triple impact. First, it's economically empowering women. Second, it's educationally empowering the youth. Okay, and third, it's giving back civic engagement hours to the local community. So this kitchen is the second revenue stream. Okay. The third, it's actually the projects. So whenever we feel that there is a need in the community and that we would like to fulfill, so we do draft proposals, okay, how we can solve that problem by, intervening, by having these kinds of activities. We put them in writing, we send them to donors such as embassies, international organizations, UN agencies, and so on. And we go through a tough process of selection until we get selected. Once selected, we get funds from those entities that do cover our activities on the ground, okay, to be able to deliver these activities to the women of the communities, the youth of the communities. And from these funds, we do have an overhead cost that will cover, our part of our salaries, part of our day-to-day operations, and so on. So these are the three revenue streams.
What was your childhood like? What kind of games did you like growing up?
What kind of games did I like when I was a child?
Yes, and how was your childhood like?
I had a very interesting childhood, indeed. I'm not sure if I used to be a child. I mean, when I was maybe 8, 9 years old, I used to create some magazines with my cousins by drawing and creating stories and trying to publish, what we were doing. It was using really our creativity and our, for example, drawing skills or artistic skills. And we used to have an amazing time by doing these magazines and really imagining that we're selling them in the market. Second, we used also, me and my cousins, because the childhood was really about me and my cousins. We used to prepare for the Mother's Day every year over maybe 5 years. It was our big event. So we used to sing, play theater, invite all, our aunts, our cousins, make it a very big event at my grandmother's house. And we used to send cards that we were drawing and putting in writing. And, it was something that we were really enjoying doing. So I remember my childhood mostly with my cousins, trying to come up with some creative initiatives for the family. Also, of course, as any maybe daughter, I don't know, or any girl, I used to love playing, the teacher, and even without any student in the room, I used to scream and try to imagine that the students are sitting on the chairs. My son is laughing. And also we used to play, at our time we had no electronics at all. So we used to really play outside the houses and use the outer spaces with the neighbors. And we were really enjoying our childhood. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
What's your favorite part about your work?
What is my favorite
part? Like, what's your favorite part of the work? Like, of the day, for example. Like, what's your favorite part?
What is my favorite part of the work or of the day?
Of the work.
Of the work? Okay. I think I'm a very people-oriented. So anything that would involve me being surrounded by people, I would definitely enjoy it. So I like, public relations. I like the donor relationship, the team time. So everything that would involve me, and be when I can really be surrounded with people, whether the beneficiaries, the team, or the donors, or I would definitely enjoy it. Mm-hmm.
Who inspires you?
Who inspires me? No, I do, but you don't know. I actually get inspired by successful women, and I think I'm very privileged and lucky to have them around me. Yeah, who?
تقولي successful women, ما تقولي مين.
Yeah, I'm trying. هلا هقلها. So it's very curious to know the answer. So yes, I'm very inspired in general by successful women who make it despite all the challenges that they're facing. And more specifically, I would say I'm really privileged because I always find myself surrounded with the right successful women. So my inspiration is Hala Fadel, whom I'm working with since 11 or 12 years old. 12 years ago, I mean. And also I think I get inspired by a lot of people. I mean, depending on some specifics that I would see in them. So I remember, for example, in my first job, I used to be inspired by the director of that organization in a very specific. For example, I used to be inspired by how detailed she was, and how meticulous she was, and how involved also she was with her team, with the donors, with her projects, and also how empathetic she was. So looking at empathy, detail, all these qualities, they are very inspirational for me. Looking at so it really depends on your journey. You would be inspired by so many people because they inspire you by sometimes specific qualities that you either have and you would like to improve, or you aspire to have them. Okay, so this is my answer.
For how long do you think you'll continue?
That's a tough question. I think I will never be detached from this organization I think ever, because this is my baby, kind of. But I might change roles, you know, so my involvement would be different. My responsibility might be different with time. So maybe now I'm the director, maybe with time I would be on the board. If not on the board, I would be an advisor, you know, so I would definitely find something that would connect me with this organization, because I believe in the mission and I contributed, and I really see, you know, the potential in this organization. So yeah.
What did you study to be prepared to do your work?
What? I'm not sure.
When did you study to prepare your work?
When did I study? Can you
What
repeat your
did
question?
you study to be prepared to do your work?
Okay, so I studied business finance. That's okay. I graduated in 2006 with a BS or BA in finance, in business finance, and now I'm about to finish my MBA because I decided to go back to university last year. So I took the MBA on a part-time basis. And now in the summer, I'll be graduating from an MBA. MBA, it means Masters in Business Administration. So obviously, I'm very interested in anything related to business, to entrepreneurship, to making money. Yet I work in the not-for-profit organization, which is not making money industry. And that's why maybe I created this community kitchen, because I wanted to do an entrepreneurial initiative somehow, and to make it happen, to make it work. So studying is something, and being on the ground working for your career path is something else, because it's about you using the skills you have acquired throughout your life. So it doesn't mean that the knowledge you're getting from university is the only thing that you will be using. It's actually the skills that you master that you will be putting into practice to excel at your work. And now it's been, I think, 16 years since I work. I mean, I have 15 years of experience, professional experience. And I think all these 15 years are put into management and in entrepreneurship and in leadership. So leadership, entrepreneurship, and community development, I would say, in management are the three main pillars I use or I work within. Yes.
But you just said that you worked for
10 years at Ruwwad, and then I had previous 5 years or 6 years before Ruwwad. Yeah.
Apparently, you have a kitchen in Tripoli. What kind of food do you cook there?
Okay, so we cook for Lebanese food mostly. Okay, the Lebanese food, I'm not sure if you ever tasted Lebanese food. Yes, so have you ever tasted Lebanese food? Kenza and Aicha? Yes, you did, Kenza? Okay. So yes, it's a very delicious and tasty food. Yeah, so it's Lebanese food with also some, desserts. It's open. They do cakes, they do Arabic desserts, and yeah, so it's mostly the Lebanese food, and it's very delicious. I'm not sure if Reem has tasted the food when they visited Huda and Reem, our center, but we have worked a lot on, you know, on the quality of the food they're doing, their cooking. By, you know, higher standards, high quality, and extremely delicious. So people won't only support because of the cause, because if I'm really convinced with your cause, I would support you once, but I won't come back to you if I'm not really convinced with the quality of your food. Okay, so that's why we work on our quality, so people would support us for the cause and also believe in what we're doing.
What is the toughest thing you did in your job?
The toughest thing is dealing with the donors. That's one. And also the toughest thing is to deal with the beneficiaries. Beneficiaries, it's because our beneficiaries, they come from very poor areas or marginalized areas, and they always seek financial support. And sometimes you get too much involved in their cases, so you would really be emotional and handling your emotions and not be really going into a burnout. That's a very challenging thing. I used to cry every time I feel very emotional, and until I did a burnout, and then I decided to be less involved with dealing with beneficiaries, because I already have team members that are doing this kind of job. And the second part, it's the donors, because en français, vous savez que celui qui donne ordonne. So it means the ones that the ones giving you the funds, usually they feel that they have the power of directing or guiding on or making decisions, because they have the money. It's a power, money is power. So sometimes you have to come in and to put some kind of limits to their limits are very important, and everyone has his own responsibility, and we need to collaborate in a collaborative mindset, and to really treat each other as peer-to-peer or partners, instead of donor implementing partner relationship. Okay, so yeah, maybe it's one of the challenges as well.
How do you choose the students?
How do I choose
the students that you work with?
How do I choose?
Like the students you want.
The students, you mean? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the students, we reach out to the students at grade 11. We go to schools and we announce the scholarship opportunity on our social media as well. And we use the word of mouth, our scholars that are benefiting from the scholarship themselves. They spread the word in their communities that we're open for new scholarships. They tell their friends, and also we have walk-ins, daily walk-ins coming in throughout the year and asking when do we open for the scholarship opportunity. So we reach out to these students differently, but they have to be at grade 11 or stuck at their universities, unable to pursue their university because of their financial issues. So they apply through a financial application in which we study their financial ability to support themselves or not. They bring in supportive documents to prove that they are in financial need, and then they go through a written test. They have to submit a written test in which we get to know them more through open-ended questions. It's fine. Okay, so we support them through open-ended questions. We ask them to answer these questions, so we get to know them better. What do they aspire? Why are they applying for our scholarship? What kind of challenges they're facing at their family level? It's fine, خليها. تعي ياسمينة سكر بك. And then we do a shortlisting based on the financial application, the supportive documents, and the written test, their answers. We select, I would say, 80% of the applicants to go through a 9-month program of capacity building in which they get trainings for IT, English language or French language, Their attendance, their participation throughout the 9 months, and the trainer or the instructor's feedback are taken into consideration, and based on this feedback, we do the final selection for interviews, and the ones that pass the interviews, they get selected for the scholarship. So this is a process of up to 18 months. And this is my daughter Yasmina. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Can you compare when you started Ruwwad and now?
Can I compare? It's it's a transitional point of my life. I would say all the things I wouldn't be able to know myself maybe 10 years ago. I wouldn't be able to know my potential. I wouldn't be able to know the skills I have. I think the experience by itself layered so much, layered all the hidden maybe things I have on the top to show me who I am and to show me really my abilities and what do I excel at and what are my areas that need to be improved. So it's only by experience, it's by experimentation that you would learn or uncover your potential. And it's Ruwwad, and it's the people of Ruwwad, the board of directors, the chairwoman, the team, the beneficiaries, the students. I learn from all these people. You have to have the learning. You have to be open to learn. You have to be humble and to always seek to improve yourself and to really admit your mistakes and to keep dreaming and aspiring and setting your goals, achieving. So all these things I was able to learn them through Ruwwad. So I am a different person, and also my kids are at the age of Ruwwad. So I think 10 years ago I didn't also have a family. I mean a big family. I was just married, and now I have 3 kids and Ruwwad.
Married.
So
Married.
So before we end our interview, I have one last question for you, Sarah. Do you have any advice for a young person who wants to become a change maker?
Of course, I actually tried to deliver some messages for you throughout the call. My advice is 1 second. Okay. So my advice would be to accept criticism and to make sure you learn and you have this learning mindset to put, to make sure that all your dreams, if they are written in terms of or if you set your dreams to be objectives, then you need to, once they are objectives, you would definitely be able to achieve them by having the right people around you. Create your own network of support. Your network of supports could be your family members, your friends, or even maybe books, maybe instructors, maybe I don't know, but I'm sure that you will be able to create your own network of support that would enable you, that would believe in you, and would give you all the motivation to be able to succeed. You will definitely be able to achieve if you have the passion, you have the consistency, the persistence, the determination, and the belief in yourself. So I'm always asked, as a woman, as a mother of 3, as a director, as how can I, as a student, how can I do all these things together? And I also do some sports activities. So how do I do all of these things together? It's really about creating a network of support that would enable me to do all these things. And it's also about determination, because I think I'm too persistent and too determined to achieve my goals. And I don't really settle down. I always aspire to do more, to create more impact, to leave legacy behind. And this is what I really advise you to do if you're really up to do all these things. Believe in yourself. Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah, for the great discussion and all the things we learned today.
Thank you for the amazing question. Honestly, you challenged me with these questions, and I think I would never expect 11-year-old students to ask such. Tell me, did you How were the answers? Do you think you learned anything? What did you learn most?
Yes.
Yeah.
Conversation. Can you hear me?
Yeah, your Wi-Fi cut for some seconds.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Oboot, for listening to this interview. Make sure to follow our Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can hear about upcoming sessions with other change makers. Please also tell your friends about Oboot and share our social media links with them. Last but not least, go to oboot.co to learn about opportunities to collect digital badges and help us build our career.